Rightio. Welcome to. Hang on, I've got this. There we go. Welcome to Beyond the Pain. Life Goes On After Injury webinar. Alrighty. So this is all designed around the fact that at some point in time we may suffer an injury, whether it be at work or outside of work, or even an illness that could in turn actually affect us down the track, affect our ability to work, affect a lot of things that can affect the family dynamics and so on. So, all right, just a little about me before we go any further. For those who don't know me, my name's Craig. Um, my career changed completely due to a workplace injury about 7 years ago. An injury that I actually thought at first would be healed up in no time, but as time went on, it became apparent and evident that it was not going to heal really quick. So over 5 years, I had 5 operations on a knee. The last being a complete knee injury, knee replacement. So I couldn't return to what I was doing, which was a very hands-on manual labour role. So I had no choice but to look for other alternatives. Um, so yes, I do have first-hand experience with life-changing injuries. So from that, I ended up working online with Double T Marketing, which is our social media marketing agency. And I've sort of developed this passion and realized that what I really wanted to do was to be helping other people like myself who are in the same predicament as I've been through and have an uncertain future ahead. So this is where the Double T coaching came into it. And I've also certified practitioner in NLP, timeline therapy, and life coaching. Rightio. So moving on. So injury and the aftermath. All right. So as it says there, firstly, injuries suck. They are not good at any level. They are not good, whether they're minor injuries or major injuries. They still can have the same overall effect, which can be quite devastating in some cases. Excuse me. Oh, pardon me. Sorry about that. Yeah, so they can have the same devastating effect at some point. They can we just don't know what an injury is going to be like. We think it's minor, it could turn major. We just don't know. So the initial reactions with an injury, obviously from your own point of view, you sort of at first you may not really worry about it, but as time goes on, if it doesn't heal, if it's not getting any better, if it's starting to progressively get worse, you're going to start thinking, what now? What is the future going to hold? What if? What if this? What if that? Then you also have the initial reactions from an employer. So anybody who's been through a workplace injury will know what I'm talking about here. You get treated like you're the villain. You're the one who's done the wrong thing because you've injured yourself. When at the end of the day, you're not in the wrong. You're the victim, but you get treated opposite, which is really hard on a person, on an individual, on your mindset, on your mental health. At the end of the day, an employer doesn't really care about your personal well-being. They're more interested in their numbers. So, and the emotions, feelings, thoughts, fears, and all that go along with it, because a lot of that will come into play. You will become have emotions. You'll be like, oh, what if? You'll have your down days, you'll have your up days. You'll be feeling, as I said, like you've done the wrong thing. You'll be feeling like you've let yourself down, your family down, those who rely on you down. You have lots of fears and thoughts go through your head. So just a couple of questions. Like I want to ask you, first question, what would happen if you were to suffer an injury now? What would your future look like if you were to suffer a substantial injury? All right. If you've never thought about it, here's the time to actually have a think about it. Now, the next question, what would a lesser or no income, how would that affect your family dynamics and anyone that relies on you? So obviously the male, well, male in the like a male in the family arena is generally the breadwinner. But these days you've got both mum and dad, like both the male and the female, both parents out working. If one was to get injured, how's that going to affect the family dynamics? How's it going to affect the whole system? It's going to have drastic effects on everything. So these are sort of things that need to be thought about if it comes to a point of injury or even illness. Okie dokie. So the road to recovery. Now, this can be a long road, it can be a short road, obviously, depending on the actual state of the injury. Now, first and foremost, how you're made to feel throughout a recovery process. Now, as I say, all this is coming from my own personal experience. I had the dealings with a large employer where you're only just a number. If you're in, you can be with a small employer and they actually care. If you're with a large company, they don't care. You're just a number. So how you're made to feel, like I was with a large company and they tried to dictate, you will go here, you will go there. They were trying to tell me I was going to be, they were trying to send me to a branch that was 300 kilometers from where I lived. And they were telling me I was going to stay there all week and go home on weekends. Not good enough. It just wasn't suit, but they make you feel like you are in the wrong. And throughout a recovery process, you also can be made to feel like you're in the wrong. It's really, it's not a nice feeling, I'll tell you. Now, the rehabilitation, you've got your physical rehabilitation, which you're obviously going through physiotherapists, specialist appointments, you've got exercise physiologists, all sorts of things like that. If you get the right people, fantastic. Your road to recovery can be really good. Your rehabilitation can be really good. If you don't get the right people, can prolong the process and it can make the process hard. Now, one thing that a lot is largely overlooked are mental health challenges. Now, as I said, a lot of this webinar and slides are from my own personal experience. So your mental health challenges, as I said, when you're made to feel like you're the one in the wrong, that you're at fault, that you've done the wrong thing, when you're made to feel that there's something wrong because you can't get back to work in a timely manner, it all affects your mental health. But no one really wants to know about that. Your mental health state is actually overlooked. And for some people, that can get quite severe. It can get to quite a severe point where people do actually think about like going to the next stage and that like the suicide level. It can really drive people to that far. So this is where support networks come into play. I do highly recommend, strongly suggest that you make sure if you ever in this incident, in this circumstances of an injury or an illness, you make sure you have good support networks around you, people that you can talk to that won't judge you, because that can be the backbone for you on your road to recovery. And obviously challenges like you're jumping through hoops constantly. They're pushing you to get back. You're being pushed to get back to work in a timely manner, or you yourself are pushing yourself to go further than you're capable of, due to the fact that you've got your people relying on you. So you think you've got to step up to the plate where sometimes you can't, because further down the track, it's going to actually have an opposite adverse effect on you. So moving forward with it, adapting to a new normal. Now, what I mean by a new normal, if you have an injury or an illness that actually prevents you from doing the job that you actually are currently doing, What are you going to do? You've got to adapt to a new normal, a new way of life. You've got to adapt to either a new career or venture down the road of business ownership, so you can control your life, you can control your daily life, you can control, you're in full control. Mindsets and challenges. Now, you've got to keep a clear mind, an open mind. Like, you've got to have the right mindset. You've got to keep, as I said, keeping the right people around you, a good support network that'll keep you in check. With your challenges, yeah, I'll run over that. Like, you're going to have challenges right along. Now, for me, for example, as I said, 7 years ago, I had an injury. Even to this day, I spend every day in pain. And that's a challenge for me. Some days I find a struggle getting off the lounge. Other days are okay. Some days might struggle walking a kilometre. Other days I might be able to walk 2 or 3 kilometres. It just varies. So you've got challenges, constant challenges. And the older you get, your body's not getting younger, so to speak. So the older you get, the more challenges you will face in a lot of circumstances. So then you've got the lessons. Obviously, lessons, you're going to learn lessons about it all the time. What to do, what not to do, what you should have done, all that sort of stuff. So you can put it into, have a great learning curve from that. Now, it's really the time to decide when you get to this point when you're recovering, go on the road to recovery. If you figure out that you have to make a change, this is where you need to decide, what do you want from your future? Is your future looking like it did years beforehand? Has it changed? It's one of those things where you go, well, this is what I've got. I've got to work all this out now. I've got to decide what it is that we're going to do. Okay, so as I said, learnings, you're going to have a lot of learnings on your journey of recovery through injury and learning how to cope with an ongoing effects from it, if that's the case. Like myself, every day is a different challenge. Every day is a new learning curve. Creating new outcomes, it's like, I say, like you got to plan what you want to do. You got to decide which direction you're going to go with everything. Now, throughout a whole process, this is more designed around, like, more aimed at if you are unfortunately a victim of a workplace injury. You are the only one you can trust. Your employer, forget it. They don't care about you, or they only care about their numbers. As I said, their figures, like how good they look or how much money they're going to put out on their work cover claims, all that sort of stuff. I spent the first 6 months of my injury out of sight, out of mind, because I worked remotely. For 6 months, I sat around home, and I constantly got, "Yep, we'll give you stuff to do from your laptop," because I had a work laptop. 6 months before I actually heard from them, and that does put a lot of mental stress on you. So now, who has your best interests at heart? You do. You are the only one. Obviously, your family, your support network do, to a degree, but really, you are the one that has your best interests at heart there. Now, with your longevity and sustainability, this comes back to, can you do your job, your current job? How sustainable is it if you were to suffer injury, illness, and what's the longevity of it? These are some things you need to ask. As I said, I was in a very heavy manual hands-on role. I was actually working as a diesel fitter on earth moving equipment. So the sustainability wasn't sustainable. There was no longevity in it with an injury. And because, like, I couldn't crawl around underneath bulldozers or underneath excavators or climb up and all that. It just wasn't sustainable to do that anymore. So these are the sort of things you need to work out early. Because you are the only one that's in control of your future. You need to work out what's best for you. All right, so overcoming the challenges and obstacles, covered a bit of this already, but keeping a clear and open mind throughout the whole process. always remain positive. I know it is a hard thing to remain positive, but remaining positive is a big key to recovery and to getting to keeping your mindset right, to keeping your mindset in a condition that you can continue to go on day to day without too many dramas. Persistence, perseverance. Well, you've got to persist and persevere with it all. Like you can't just unfortunately snap your fingers and it's all good and all gone. But you've just got to, just persevere with the process because it is a process. A good support network, that is probably possibly the most vital part of overcoming injury and having life go on after it, having a good life after it. And do not ever be afraid to open up. Fight with that, especially if a support network. If a support network don't want to listen to you open up, they're not good support network. Get rid of them. If you've got a good support network, you will not have an issue with them from them if you open up and talk about your problems. I know that from my own personal thing. I had my wife around me. She was a great support network. The Port Bugger copped a lot from me, which I didn't realise until after a few years. But that's the way it falls. Unfortunately, you don't realise this. And she was such a good support network. She never actually said anything. She was there to support me and to get through it all. So and another one of the biggest things is don't ever give up, no matter what. Especially if it's a workplace injury, you'll be pushed to the point where you just throw your hands in the air and go, I've had enough. You win. Don't ever give up. Keep pushing through. You got to do what's best for you. You got to do what's right for you. So, okay. So I think that's about the most of it there. So rightio. All right. So for anyone that's actually on here tonight, and for any of you guys that have registered, that are unable to make the live due to time zone differences, etc. I do have a couple of offers on here that I've decided I want to offer to people. Now, for those of you who may be in a position where you are thinking about what if and what is next, or you're actually thinking that you need to change before something happens, right? We have a online business startup coaching program. As you see here, New Horizons 3.0. It is basically a business in a box, so to speak. Well, probably the wrong terminology, but okay. So look, what you get here with this one is it's a minimum of a 16-week coaching program. You get 1 hour coaching session every week. It's via Zoom. You get a digital marketing business course model that is basically, when I say it's a business in a box, you have a saleable product straight up that you keep all profits from. It's not a network marketing or affiliate marketing system. It is basically what you sell, you keep. No commissions are paid to anyone else. No one. Everything goes to you. So that's why I say it's a business. It's pretty much a business in a box. It's a digital marketing course that will help you. It will set you up. It's all video tutorials, set you right up to basically do whatever type of digital marketing business you want to do. It also comes with a comprehensive digital product vault with over 400,000 digital products, which are all fully resaleable as well. So, and this is the same. Once again, everything you sell, it's all yours. All profit goes to you. We help you throughout the program. We help you setting up the start of your business, your social media pages. We help you scale and grow your socials. We have access to a private Facebook group. That's the wrong name on there, unfortunately. We have a public Facebook group that you have access to, chat groups, private and group chat group with us. Access with us within reason, obviously 24/7, within reason. and a few other extensive resources there that we offer for you. So basically, we help you get your business started. In amongst all that, there's branding. We help you go through your branding, all that sort of stuff, setting up your pages, all that sort of stuff. So that one there is normally 4,400 upfront, or 185 weekly over 24 weeks. It's a 16-week program. So we've got a special for the webinar, this webinar only. So it's 3,200 upfront or 135 weekly for over 24 weeks. That is available for the next 24 hours. And for the first 3 people that want to reach, are interested, want to reach out. Next one, we have business or personal, either breakthrough sessions. Now, these are 8 sessions. They are designed. Excuse me for a sec. I've not brought the slide up that I wanted. Please bear with me. I do apologise. Okay, so these breakthrough sessions are designed for those who are seeking clarity, desire a new inspiration, seeking purpose, creating strong self-assurance, enhancing self-confidence, need to get, explode through your business, your mindset, etc. So we're offering this over 8 sessions. First 2 sessions, we run through a discovery sessions, basically information gathering. Then we have approximately 4 with the timeline therapy sessions, where we aim to clear out negative emotions and any limiting beliefs or decisions. Then we have a couple of sessions that are goal setting based test sessions. Now, sometimes these timeline therapy sessions need to go a few, like 1 or 2 extra. Sometimes you cannot do them in 4 sessions. They need to go a little bit longer. And the session durations are approximately 60 to 90 minutes each. We do them over 8 sessions, generally over 8 weeks. So now this itself too is another webinar special, which is these normally go for 3,000 up front or 250 a week. We are going to do it over for this webinar 1,997 or 168 a week over 12 weeks. So again, same deal. First 3 people want to reach out to us and available for the next 24 hours. So if any of that is of interest to you, please reach out. Now, bear with me. I will stop this recording and find my recording button.